I don't have any catchy music for this stream, so I'm just gonna adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. All right, not bad. What's that? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Getting Projects Done. I'm gonna get stuff done, so I'm still in the midst of preparing my area, so I'm gonna do that while people may or may not join us. I have no idea. Grab some brushes. So what am I working on tonight? I posted a picture on the Twitters on my corpse grinders. Excuse me. Actually, wait here. Let's go to this camera. This camera? Yeah. This one's a little dark. I wonder if I can correct this. I wonder if I bring this light over here. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, hold on a sec here, folks. I'm still playing with my area here. That doesn't sound right. Playing with my area. Turn that off. Let's move this. I've got other bigger kind of studio lights. I probably should start using those more often. Because, you know, reasons. Let's try that. Let's kick that in. There we go. And we'll kick that over here. See what that does for us. Let's switch back to the painting cam. The painting cam. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Let's fill the light in over here a bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. So anyway, working on these guys. I've got 2 more of these guys on the go to finish up. So, yeah, I'm going to work on these guys. I'm not doing anything terribly fancy with them. It is pretty straightforward on what I am doing with them. So, yeah, just making sure everything's running properly. My hair keeps doing this strange curly thing. Anyway, all right, so that's what we're working on. We're going to get some of that stuff done. If you see me leaving the frame, it's because I'm grabbing stuff. Because usually I paint further over this way. But for tonight, I paint over here. Because we're trying to get shit done here. And so I've already got some of these little bases ready to go. As you can see there. So, almost done. I just got to paint the little black on the rims. But otherwise, the way I painted these up, pretty much how I had shown them on my YouTube channel, doing the tutorial on how I grimied them up. I also showed a video today on doing using parafilm to mask off sections. And so that's what I did for all these bases, because I wanted something that I could just not reuse, but slap over each of the bases, cut out where I wanted them, and then I just simply airbrushed in the desired pattern. But anyway, okay. Now, on these guys, I have already laid in the white areas, the flesh, and the green. And so I think what's left is doing straps, handles, and little bone areas. You know what? I think I'll get started on some of the bone. Oh wait, I didn't do. Yeah, I did his face. Yeah, I did his face. Yeah, I think I will start on the bone. The bone. Let's go on. Yeah, let's go both cameras here. Yeah. Yeah. That's the ticket. I don't know if my chat's going. Is my chat going? I think my chat's going. Chat? I keep forgetting I gotta activate the Demon Monkey Bot. Hi? Okay, yeah, that's going. And... oh, okay, I see Nillis. Nillis? Good evening, Chris. Good evening. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I got my chat appearing there. I got the thing. Oh, okay, Ryan Ironwolf. Waves. Ryan. Waving. Okay. So I need some bone, which I will grab. Trusty Rusty Skeleton Horde. Contrast. A lot of these a lot of these models I've been just simply using a lot of contrast to do, because like for example, here I'll whip up one of these painted duders. Yeah, let's whip up this guy here and make sure I'm in frame properly. So like this guy here, all I've been doing is contrast bone for obviously the little bone areas, flesh, snakebite leather for like the straps. I've been using, I think, wildwood for the handles and the boots. I think that's it. But I'm just trying to be, fairly careful about it all, right? And so, yeah. But anyway, these guys have been really fun. I kind of wish I could get this camera in closer. I wonder if I can get this camera closer. All right, you know what? I'm going to switch screens here. Let's switch screens. Let's go back to the main. Right? Ryan Ironwolf, hope you're doing well. I am doing well. I'm well. I'm pretty well. Pretty well? Pretty well. Actually, maybe I'll have to... okay, wait. How am I sitting here? I'm sitting like this. Thing. Camera's got to come in about that much. Okay, so... it's going to get a little jarring here for a second, kids, but bear with me. Yeah, let's do that one. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go like this. And yeah, you know what? Let's come in like this. Let's keep it nice and funky. Funky. Here we go. How's this? That's not... My fingernails look really dirty. It's only because of paint. I was doing the blood splattering effect, and yeah. Oh, you know what? That's not too bad right there, right? That's not bad. Funky like a monkey. Monkey. Actually, do I need to change that focus? Is that clear enough? I don't think that's clear enough. The perfectionist in me says it is not clear enough. Yeah. Let's see right there. Nope, too blurry. Yeah, that's pretty clear. That's sharp enough. Okay, we'll kill that. Looks good. Yeah, I think it looks good. That's better. That's a better camera angle right there, right? That's a little bit closer to how I paint. Yeah. So like I said, the flesh has been done. The armor's been done. The white of the helmet, and if he had white on his hands, that would have been done. And his pants. And all these were done was like with, well, I did a tutorial on these. If you follow my YouTube channel, you'll see the tutorials on this, how I did the white, how I did the armor. Pretty sure how I did the flesh. Yeah, I think I did the flesh. Yeah. But I don't think I showed like the little examples, like the straps and the boots and all these other little details. But I didn't really think it was necessary, so I didn't really bother showing that because, I figured it was pretty standard, really. But what do I know? Anyway, yeah, let's get started with some bone. Some bone. Bone. I have some paint on that horn. Get some paint right up on that little horn there. I don't like it. I'm going to have to come in. The OCD is kicking in. OCD. The OCD. I'm just grabbing a bit of grace here and cover that up. What is today? Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. I don't have my little palette. Oh well. Screw it. I'll do my palette over there. I'll reach for my stuff. Should always work from a palette. Always. 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 I know there's so many people out there who don't work from a palette, and they end up complaining about paint drying and stuff like that, right? So I'll probably grab a little bit more paint than I actually needed, but It's okay. It almost looks like wax the way this paint's sitting. Oh no, it's just the way the thing is sculpted. Is it on both sides? It is on both sides. Right there too. I'll get this area as well while I'm at it. Well, since I got the paint out. Right. Right. Clean this stuff up. My furnace is kicked in, so if you hear a furnace running, that's what it is. And of course the vent is like right over my head, so like it's cooking my frickin' forehead right now. There we go. Oh, there's this part right there. So, hopefully, some of you are working on your own projects, as maybe you're tuned in, listen to me ramble on about stuff. Oh, I guess I got some other stuff to clean up. Let's see around this knee here. I was a little overly zealous in my application of the color. I do that sometimes. Get a little overly excited when applying color. Yeah, I'm fine with all that. And so we cleared that up. And now, what was I going to use? Oh, I was going to use bone. That's right. Use these handy dandy little thingamabobbers. Paint is really aggressively stuck right into the bristles there. Interesting. OCD kicking in, so I'm going to clean my brush. When you see me doing weird things, just blame the OCD. OCD. That is all. Ryan Ironwolf, just finished some squigs for Age of Sigmar for a friend. Working on some Eldar and Iron Hands myself as I can. Cool. Awesome. You send pics? Do you send pics, Ryan? I don't know. Have I ever gotten pictures? I don't know. There we go. See? Bristles. Nice and clean. All right. Oh, you know what? Shit, I didn't do this. I didn't check this guy out. Oh, I gotta do this guy too. Son of a beehive. Grab a little bit more of my grace here. Right in behind this guy's head, there's a big old splooch of green. Otherwise, this guy's not bad. I wasn't too crazy with the color. Could clean up that little panel there a little bit. You guys see this okay? Yeah. Yeah. A bit on this thumb there. That probably would get cleaned up anyway once I started highlighting everything. Little floofy. Floofy. Alright. So, let's get to work here. Ryan Ironwolf. Yeah, I sent the big Forge World Zinch guy a long time ago. Not where I can send pics at the moment, but I shall. Cool. Please do. I like getting emails from everybody, seeing what others are working on, and, you know, if people needs the help and such. Oh, yeah. I like painting with contrast. I don't know about any of you guys out there, but I like painting with contrast. It is a lot of fun. And it's a nice, fast way of getting stuff done, you know. So I'm just laying down a little bit of the skeleton horde just to initially begin these horns. The way I did them is I didn't really lay a lot down, and I build the color up with this this essential bone color. And so I just go through and just fill in the areas. But yeah, it's such a simple, effective way of just getting your models painted. You know, like, is it going to make you the end-all, be-all of painters? Of course not. I don't even know what the end-all... Oops, shit. I don't even know what the end-all, be-all of painters is. I don't even know if that kind of craziness exists, you know? So... here, I'm just going to color these horns in. One part of my brain wants to do something fancy for the way they connect up to the helmet. I don't know. Maybe. Just maybe. But as I lay these colors down, I'm going to push the color where I want it to build the darkest. Just like we do when we glaze normally, you know. When we're using glazing techniques, you treat this stuff the same way. In case anybody was wondering, anybody who has not taken the plunge into the world of contrast paints. I don't know if there is anybody out there who hasn't yet, but I'm sure there are a few who are on the fence, as it were. I say, you know, get off the fence, get in the action, and get your freaking models done, man. Although I can't say, you know, get your models done, because, you know, I'm notoriously bad for taking forever to get my stuff done. Notorious. People go, oh, that Chris? Yeah, he's notorious for not getting his shit done. Notorious. There's a little bone on his hip, so I'm just painting that in. Like I said, I really like contrast, though. They're fun. It's just fun just to quickly get your stuff done. You know? Like, you know, you're not aiming to, you know, enter this into any kind of competition. You just want to get it done so you can play. Have some fun, you know? Everybody always takes this shit so seriously. I don't know why. Why? I don't know. Oh, crap. We got a few more comments here. Chaos Engine. Hey, Chris. Yeah, you shake that bottle good. Ryan Ironwolf. You have been a big help, and I appreciate it. No problem. Thank you. Uber Talucci. Hey, what are you up to tonight? I am painting corpse grinders. Oh, right. I didn't do the bone on this guy. Is there bone on this guy? Is there bone? You know what? I don't think I see any bone on this guy. His helmet, like, I think I'm going to paint that stuff green. Or no, I should do it white. But no, the cloth's white. Decisions. Well, this guy's kind of different, right? He's got this big, like, buzzsaw thing. But see, like the thing is that the way I've been doing my color scheme is that their face is white. But if I did the cloth, what would I do the cloth? If I did the helmet white to look like it was white underneath, what would I do the cloth? I kind of like the cloth being white. Because I really like how, like, for example, the unit, or at least I call him the unit leader. I don't know if he's the unit leader. He's got this really nice bright white face. He's got this horns coming off his head. It all, creates this really nice separation on him, right? Which, makes it really, really fun. And you'll notice too, like, these guys are only bloody on the front. Well, I also, like, bloodied up around their pants because, like, they're wading through blood and stuff. So you'll see that, like, on a lot of them, like here, like one of these little initiates. Like he's been wading through blood. His cutting arm is all bloody, but otherwise they're not, terribly mucked up. And I didn't want these guys to be all, super messed up or anything like that. Less is more, but I don't see any bone on this guy. So I want to have to find other opportunities to create visual interest. Okay. Well then. Okay, so bone on that. So let's jump into a nice dark color. What do we got sitting over here? Snakebite Leather. Oh, we can do Snakebite Leather right now. I also have a Airbrush Dunes over here. Wildwood? Is it Wildwood I've been using? Fire Slayer Flash. No, that's turquoise. Gorgrunt. Maybe it's Gorgrunt I'm using. Shit, I can't remember which color I'm using on the boots. I want to say it's Wildwood, but it might be Gorgrunt. I don't know. I don't remember what I was using. Chaos Engine. Are contrast paints basically Minotaur tints? No. Minotaur tints, in my experience, are different from even, like, regular... Like, okay, like, if you've ever used the Forge World clear colors, I would think that they have a very similar formulation to these colors. But these have an additive in them to increase that viscosity where it creeps into the recesses. Can you do the same thing with Minotaur colors to get the same effect? Yeah, you pretty much can. I showed it in a video. I can't remember if it was a previous way the brush or if I did it just the tip. It was back when these came out. I had a whole bunch of videos showing all sorts of different, things on these. But anyway. Shit, I can't remember if this is Gorgrunt I used for the boots. Let's say it was. Let's say it was Gorgrunt. I think it might have been Wildwood, but knowing me, I probably went with Gorgrunt just to be different. Chaos Engine. Okay, I'll have a look at them then. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the first way the brush, where I showed contrasts, pretty sure it was that one or the one after it where I had shown basically using Minotaur tints, Minotaur ghost tints, and getting a similar effect by just adding flow aid. Nope, it wasn't Gorgrunt. Wasn't Gorgrunt. Gorgrunt has got a lot of red in it. It's not what I used. Or maybe it was Sigor Brown. No, it was Wildwood. It was Wildwood because Sigor is darker than Wildwood. Why it's always important to have a journal of what you're doing. I do have a journal. I just forget to use it. Write your recipes down. It's even handy if you have like a nice blank notebook and you can just put like a little bit of the paint, like create a little swatch. So then you just keep your notes down what you did, just so you can kind of get back to, where you were. Chaos Engine. I had a look, and in Australia, contrast paints are 11 per pot. Damn. Yeah, they are pretty pricey. They are. As with anything Citadel, they all have that premium price tag attached to them, right? It's nature of the beast. I mean, these guys have worldwide distribution. The shit's got to get paid for somehow, right? But the thing is, though, yeah, there are alternatives out there where you can use transparencies. I don't know if I've ever shown it with golden paint line. They have transparencies as well, and using their paints to achieve a similar effect as this. It's very easy to achieve this effect of what this paint gives you, but if you don't really know where to go to get that stuff or how to, assemble it, then, it can be kind of a pain. Whereas this, it's one bottle, and it's going to be a close approximate to the color that is going to match with the rest of your army. That's the other benefit of, just buying the pot of color, right? Chaos Engine. They do look like bigger pots. Yeah, they are bigger pots. They're the same size. Or no, they're smaller than the large shade wash pots. Where's the shade wash pot? I gotta find room for my crap here. Yeah, like, whoop, shit, dropped them all. So, okay. So here, I'm gonna get the 3 size bottles for you, right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's a size comparison for you guys. For all you out there who give a shit. See, so the shade wash bottle is just shit bags. The shade wash bottle is just a little bit bigger. Okay, as you can see there, right? Just a little bit. It is, what is this? 24 milliliters for the shade wash bottles, and I think the big technicals, the ones that have like the grit and like the Everland and all that shit. Not Everland. You know what I'm talking about. The stuff, the technicals for the bases. Anyway, they're in these 24? It's 24 milliliter. Where the fuck? There it is. Yeah, 24 milliliter, right? The contrast paints are in 18 milliliters. These are 18 milliliters. And the regular GW paint pot is 12 milliliters. So these little guys are 12 milliliters. So yeah, contrasts are in a little bit bigger. And if you're smart about it, you don't burn through it that fast. And, you lay like this, you're applying this stuff like in a single stroke and you're done kind of thing, it's really fun stuff. And I mean, they put out this, this little rubber paint pot holder. It works well. It grabs all the paint pots, right? Grabs contrast paints. That's not the case. Regular paint pot, right? Fits right in there. And shade wash. They all fit. All 3 fit right in there, right? Just so you know, like it works especially well for the shade wash and for the contrast, because the contrast it flows really thin, whereas regular paint doesn't flow quite as easily because it's a thicker body. But this does help with the contrast for anybody out there who has a tendency to knock their stuff over. Personally, I don't do it very often. Knock on wood. Just it doesn't happen. But because I'm demonstrating stuff tonight, I'm gonna use it because, well, I'm more than likely gonna be talking, and I'll end up knocking it over for sure. Just because I said I don't normally knock stuff over, I'll probably end up knocking it over. Chaos Engine. See, that is not that bad. I thought it was 11 for the same you get from the base paint. No, the paint pot is just a bit bigger, but it's not as big as the shade wash. The shade wash, you get like really like a big bottle of Null Oil. Like you get quite a bit there, But this does have an additive in it that, because otherwise they could just simply add that additive to this stuff and get the same. Well, actually, it kind of does. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. This stuff and this stuff have a similar additive where they creep into the recesses. That's why this stuff is so popular. But you can also make your own shade wash to do the same thing as Null Oil. You know, and same thing with contrast. You can do the same thing with other colors to get the similar effect like contrast. Where there's a will, there is a way. As the man said once. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Wildwood I used for the boots. We're going to find out again here. Yeah, it was Wildwood. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I got blue tack hanging out. I'm gonna have to come back. Pull these guys off. This guy doesn't have the same details on his boots. On his boots. And somehow got blue tack on the, or sticky tack on his heels. Not exactly sure how I did that. Yeah. But see, what I like is that, you know, you can see how it gives you your lows, your highs, your mids. That's why this stuff is so fun. That's why people were losing their shit over this product. Because it's just, it makes, you know, base coating and shade washing less of a hassle. Does it replace it? Of course not. But it makes it less of a hassle for those of us who just want to get our shit painted. Just, you know, you just want to get your shit done. You know? So, yeah. I'm going to have to come back to those. What was I say I was doing? Oh, the handles. Right. Hail bop, heyo, heyo. Chaos Engine. I might have to try my hand at making my own paints. Australia get a little screwed for prices, but that is the nature of the hobby. LOL. It looks like a real good way to pump out a good-looking army. Yeah, you can pump out a really good-looking army pretty quickly just using contrast, or even using products that'll get you a similar result, right? I mean, you don't have to use contrast. But if you're not sure exactly what you're doing and, you know, you venture off into doing your own thing, there is a whole lot of troubleshooting you're going to have to go through, you know, and you're going to have to look up. And, you know, you're going to do something. You're going to follow a recipe online. And then you're going to encounter something funny that you've not encountered before because you're doing something you haven't done before. And then you're going to be like, well, this isn't working. And I don't understand. I did it exactly the way they said. And something's going awry. And so that ends up creating a big headache for you. Whereas personally, I mean, like, man, if I don't have to deal with any headaches, I don't have to troubleshoot anything, or, you know, then I don't. If I don't have to do it, and if there's a product out there that can speed up my work, I'm going for that every time. Because I'd rather be productive than frugal, really. Oh, this is a tight little spot here to get these ends in. I left these guys off the bases just so that I could get into these spaces a lot easier, and it's times like that that I am glad I did that. Oh, his belt. But yeah, contrast paints, you know, so many people shat on them, you know. Oh, contrast paints and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, oh, cripes. It's just paints, people. It's just paints. And I don't know how anybody can just, you know, poop on a paint. It's just a paint. It's just colors. You know? Now, complaining about the price tag? Sure. But, you know, I don't hear anybody screaming up in arms about how much, you know, a Wraith Knight costs. Right? how much a box of Space Marines. I don't hear anybody going, well, I'm quitting the hobby now because Space Marines cost me $100 for 5. Actually, I don't even know. Do they cost $100 for 5? I'm sure we'll get to that point soon enough. You know, I mean, back in my day, box of 30 Marines cost you $30. Basically $1 a Marine. And even then that's pretty expensive for a little bit of plastic. But, as I said earlier, there is this whole infrastructure in place. And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the accessibility of these products. Because you can pretty much find it. You don't really have a hard time finding these things, right? Like, it's pretty easy to find a Games Workshop product. So many hobby stores carry this stuff, you know, that you would be hard pressed to find a town that didn't have access to some sort of Games Workshop like store, or, you know, have their products around. Imagine if you're, you know, I don't know. I can't even imagine where you'd have to be to not have access to this stuff. Especially with the internets and all. But I am old, and, you know, I'm sure it happens. Boom. There we go. What did I say I have to do? Oh, the belt. Where am I? Oh, Chaos Engine. The good thing is, you know paint, so if you say contrast is good, well then. Well, I enjoy contrast, and, you know, it makes life a lot easier, you know, especially for a newer person. But there's still something in contrast paints that's there for more advanced people. You know, all they are just transparent colors. That's all they are. But yeah, Minotaur Ghost Tints, Forge World Clear Colors. Forge World Clear Colors are probably pretty close to the formulation. Whereas Minotaur is not. It behaves a bit more like an alcohol-based paint. A little bit. And at least early on with Minotaur, I found that you had to seal the model after applying Minotaur, because if you sprayed down the ghost tint down and then laid another color on top, especially if it was lighter, like say for example you laid down a green ghost tint and then laid down yellow, the yellow would reactivate on top of that ghost tint and mix. Now, I don't know if it still happens that way, but yeah, I've always cautioned people about that, you know, when you lay down the ghost tint, lay it down, seal it, and then lay other colors on top if you need be, you know, if that's where you're going with your paint job, right? But yeah. Hail Bob, 40 US at the moment. I remember when they were 20 for 25. 20 to 25 for 10. Yeah. Yeah. Chaos Engine, probably why Kings of War has picked up steam in Australia. The prices. Yeah. A lot of people playing Kings of War these days. See, I'm not huge into fantasy. I know I'm sure Kings of War started picking up steam when Games Workshop dropped fantasy, right? And, you know, people who love that universe of, you know, elves and dwarves and, you know, all that stuff gravitated toward Kings of War. I think it was just a natural progression. I think that was going to happen regardless of, you know, costs. Chaos Engine, all good. Just found a local store where they have them for $9.99 Aussie price, or Australian Aussie. Excuse me. Hail Bop, I have to get 2 contrast colors for my Necromunda gang hair. For some of them, recent vid gave me an idea. Yeah, very true. Yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, I have to do the belt. Son of a beehive. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this guy off the blue tack. Or, I keep calling it blue tack. It's sticky tack. I think because I always used to use blue tack. I think at the time that's all I could find was blue tack. And so I always used to use just blue tack. But blue tack, poster tack, sticky tack. It's just tack, right? Yeah, just pull it off there. There we go. Just so I can get those feet areas. Again, the OCD. The OCD kicks in, and so I can't move on until I've gotten some of those other areas. Yeah, I'm a bit of a stickler, me seeks. So really quickly here, let's get these feet. Oh, I think I just painted the goddamn blue tack. I think there was a little chunk left. Yeah, there's a goddamn chunk of my foot. Son of a bitch. Oh, piss me off. I thought I got it all. You think you get it all. You forget about the eggs. Piss off. Come off, you son of a bitch. Oh, I still missed it. Son of a... Oof. Getting annoyed. Getting annoyed. I'm annoyed now. There we go. We'll wait for that to dry for a moment. What time are we at here? What time did I even start this? I've been on for 44 minutes. Okay. Hailbop. Mohawk changes from one color to another. Easiest done the way I want with contrast than ghost tints. You can do it with ghost tints as well, Hail. If you have Flow-Aid. If you have Liquitex Flow-Aid, you can add a drop to your Minotaur ghost tints and it'll act just like contrast. That's all it takes. Just a drop. I've shown it. I'm pretty, like, if you go back on my channel, on my YouTube channel, back when contrasts were coming out, yeah, it was around then, and I had done a bunch of demonstrations because I had gotten invited to go to Games Workshop and experience these paints before everybody else. They invited a whole bunch of artists and you know, really, really awesome experience, and really great to meet a lot of these guys, these infamous names in the community, which was really great. They were all great dudes, and yeah, it was really fun getting to try these paints out early before everybody else, even, you know, before anybody even got wind of this stuff, right? And there was so much stuff that when the rest of us painters got together, we were like, okay, well, we want to try this, and, you know, like, we wanted to, first of all, we wanted to try it through airbrushes, and, you know, of course, then, you know, we were trying it through, you know, obviously on top of metallics, and immediately, I wanted these contrast paints. I wanted them to finish with a gloss. I wanted them to have a glossy finish, because sitting on top of metallics, these contrast paints, they do a great job sitting on top of metallics, but they dry with a slightly matte finish, more of a satin, and that kind of kills the metallic luster. And it's hard to bring back a metallic luster from a matte finish, especially if it's a proper matte, like the matte finish is in the paint. It's hard to put a gloss on top to build that back up again. And who the hell keeps messaging me? Oh, it's people on Twitter. The Twitters are active. So yeah, once I got my hands on the paints, I immediately set forth, you know, doing tests, and I was doing a live stream the day that the paints showed up, and I was like, you know, yay, get to do them right away, get to start playing with them, and yeah. So anyway, Chaos Engine. Hey, Chris. A bit more of a creator question. I finally made my first YouTube video yesterday and uploaded it. The only issue I was having was with filming the miniature. It kept going out of focus when painting. Any tips? Switch if you like. I'm not sure exactly what you're filming with, because you could be filming with a cell phone, you could be filming with, you know, a DSLR or even a camcorder. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, see if you can adjust it to a manual focus. Like these cameras right now, I'm using these webcams, and in fact, you can film tutorials with just these webcams. These are the what are they? The Logitech C90 somethings. These are the very common 1080p. So many streamers use these webcams, and that's what I'm using to do this right now. So, like right here, you can see how I can bring my hand up close, comes away, close. You know what I mean? And you know, normally whenever you do this, and the camera auto focuses, or you'll see it the image get brighter or darker. I turn that stuff off, and I go through manual settings to how I do this. And I do this for all my stuff. I always work through manual settings. And, you know, you're filming through a DSLR kit lens 1855. Oh, okay. So you're basically shooting. Yeah, this is my 1855. Yeah, this is the same lens I use to film my tutorials with. So if you've seen any of my stuff on YouTube, this is what I'm filming those tutorials with right now. Hey, there's something freaking rattling in here. Oh, I don't like that. Ugh. I need that camera. That's my only camera right now. Well, good camera anyway. Yeah, you heard that rattle? You heard that rattle? That wasn't me just hamming it up or anything. Like, I heard that little rattle in there. Anyway, that's not good. But it's an old camera. I bought that. That's a Canon Rebel T3i. That's a T3i. If you're not sure how old that camera is, just Google Rebel T3i, and you'll find out how old that camera is. So anyway. So that's what I use for the tutorials. I shoot with that lens. And so if you're filming tutorials, then switch your video settings and go in, and you're just switch everything to manual. And, you know, basically if you're going to do tutorials and you're going to use it like that lens, push the f-stop as high as you can comfortably go. I currently film mine at f11. I think you want the larger f-stop for greater depth, so that so your subject matter can move a little. Because if you have it too shallow, then the focal length is too shallow, and as soon as you move, it goes out of focus. And so yeah. Because, again, once you have it in that thing, I shoot as low ISO as I can go. Now, if you have a newer camera, you got a T6 Rebel? Okay, so, yeah. Go as low ISO as you can go. So, normally I like to shoot in 100, but currently I think my tutorials I'm shooting at 400. But that's as high as I will go. I won't go higher than 800, because then you'll start to see artifacts and graininess. At least I always find that. So, you know, so have your f-stop as high as you can go. Go as low ISO as you can go, and set your focus to manual. And pretty much all your camera settings should be manual settings. I mean, if you're going for video, you probably can just go shutter priority. Yeah, you can probably just go shutter priority, and you should be fine. It's just as long as the focus is not automatic. If you're going to be moving around a lot, then yeah, you might want to have an automatic focus. And most Canon cameras can adjust focus really, really fast. So you should be good in that regards. I like Canon cameras myself. I'm a Canon fan, and in fact, I'm eyeballing up a camcorder a Canon that I want to pick up. So that's probably the next big purchase that I have to pick up for if I want to continue, doing these kinds of videos and stuff like that. And so, But yeah, that's really the big ones that I can think of. Oh, Greenleaf Terrain, you're here. Hi, Adam. Yeah, you were shooting at f4.5. Yeah, go up higher. So to go up higher and to keep your ISO as low as possible, you're going to need more light. More light. Now, to offset that, you can get yourself a ring light. They sell like cheap ones. I can't really, because I'm actually kind of using it right now, but you can get these like cheap ring lights, and you can get some that are for like for video work, and just get yourself a ring light. And if you're going to do tutorials, just use a ring light. I use this lamp, but this lamp has a diopter lens in it, and I actually shoot through that as well, just so I can get really, really close. So like, you know, but anyway, yeah, a ring light. A ring light should offset it, because that way it'll give you, you know, uniform lighting around your subject matter. And especially if you're going to film videos, you know, especially if you're going to do like tutorials, right? Like painting tutorials. I assume that's what you're doing, right? You're painting tutorials. And if you're going to do that, then yeah, so that, you know, because you always want to have the camera in as close as possible. Now with that lens, and because like I said, I use a diopter lens as well, which is on my lamp. My camera and the diopter lens are only this far apart. So, but it gives me greater focus, and if I actually move the camera further back, the image gets really blown. But the only thing is though, is that you get that hazing around the edges, and that fisheye, you'll get that as the camera gets further out from the lens. But anyway, let's get back to work here on my model. What was I going to do? Oh, the belt. Oh, excuse me. Chaos Engine. That really helps a lot, Chris. Thanks. The talking head bit of my video, I got people saying it was really professional looking with the 50mm 1.8 lens. Oh, yeah, I've got that one too, the 50mm, yeah. But yeah, when I filmed my miniature painting, I lost hours worth of footage. You lost hours worth of footage. Because it wasn't how you wanted, or you weren't or were you, once you got into the computer, you were having to do like a lot of color adjustments, so that, you know, because I mean, you had to, because if you leave it, if you don't have it on a manual setting, your white balance and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, the aperture and stuff will all change automatically, and so that's why, oh, it's a bit out of focus. I got you. Yeah, just switch it to manual. Switch it to manual. Set your focus up to a certain point, and then just get used to working at that distance from the camera, and just get in the habit of not moving much. That's a hard one. Filming tutorials and stuff like that is not easy. I've been doing it. How long have I been doing this? Since 2011, 2012. So that's how long I've been doing this. And yeah, it's a long time to be doing something anyway. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully. Let's get this belt done. So yeah, so you can see how like right now I'm looking at this camera. I've also got this other camera, and you know, I've got myself planted. I can see a screen where I can see myself. That's the other one too, is that when you're painting and you have your camera, have another screen. If you can run an HDMI wire to a screen, a monitor, so you can see what you're doing, all the better. Especially if it's an eye shot, because that's the way I used to work all the time. I used to have an old, it wasn't a computer monitor. It was just an old LCD TV. Oh shit, I just hit that part. And sorry, I just got to clean up a mistake here. I hit a point of the model that I didn't want to hit. Too busy talking here. Anyway, that's the other thing with contrast. Well, just basically any regular color. You can always just, if you do make a boo-boo, you can always quickly just use your brush, damp brush, and just pull it off. Just below the belt there, I hit the part of his pants, and I didn't want to leave it like that. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. Wasn't important. Probably wasn't important, as I used to say. I'm going to go quiet here for a moment because I'm concentrating. I'm thinking real hard. I'm trying not to hit other freaking areas. Good enough. Greenleaf Terrain. Chris, you do tutorials? I never knew that. Are you good at the tutorials? I like to think I'm pretty good at the tutorials. I don't know if I am or not, but I like to think I am. I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, Games Workshop puts out really great tutorials. So, you know. They're very well produced, but they are often more than one person producing those videos. And even when I was making videos for mini wargaming, it was always just me making the video from beginning to end. It's always just me. Intros, editing, filming, subject, everything. It's always just me. I was independent as far as how I went about my day at mini wargaming. And that was fine. You know, I can work independently. See, the fun part about the contrast is you just got to kind of touch areas and just beep, 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 and you can just get it done really fast. Kind of like this. And because it's kind of, it's also the shade wash, you can just kind of let it pool up, give you some darker tones, and it can also create your lining as well. All right, that's the belt for him. You can see like on his boots. See how you can see the mid-tones, the highs and lows? Like you'd think like that was, you know, a base coat, a shade wash, and maybe a edging, but that was just one coat of the contrast. So, and if you're only going to pick up a few contrast colors, I highly recommend any of the brown colors. They're fantastic. They're a lot of fun. They make life so easy. In fact, I'm going to use Snakebite Leather next. Greenleaf Terrain, Chris. Painting Slut. A painting slut? Okay. Chaos Engine. Painting tutorials is a lot harder, like you said, than I thought. LOL. Fun, but more difficult when you can't move the miniature the way you would normally. No. And for the longest time, my painting, like the way I would film, is I always had the camera to my left because I'm right-handed. So if you're left-handed, you probably should have your camera on your right-hand side. But if you're right-handed, you should have it on your left-hand side. Reason being is because when you're holding your miniature and you're painting, right, it's this way. Because if I was painting the other way, then the hand would be in the shot, right? So that's why you want to shoot that way. You always want to shoot, right? You want to do it that way instead of, I don't know, can I even physically do this? You know what I mean? Rather than that way, because see, as I'm painting, the miniature is gonna be obscured by my hand. So that's why you film it that way. Where else was I going with this? Oh, right, position. So the camera was always on my left, and the way it was set up, and the way I used to do it was I had my tripod next to my work area. And that actually had the benefit of, if I bumped the table, just the work surface would move and the camera would stay fixed, which, you know, made for a steady picture. But the thing was that the way I'd have to work is kind of scooched over on my side and painting, and I was kind of hunched over all the time. So I was like that for a long time, painting. And depending upon what the subject matter was that I was showing in the video, I could be like that all day, filming and painting in that position, which is not comfortable and probably not good for your back. It probably wasn't good for my back. But, you know, what are you going to do? So, now, I mean, the way I'm currently set up here, I have a camera mounted to my table with this, it's a Manfrotto Magic Arm. And I actually have the webcam hooked up to it, but I can also hook up my DSLR to it, and this is what I use to film tutorials. And it basically mounts to my table, and it's an arm that, like, this thing is solid. Like, right now, like, here's my hand in the shot. I'm moving the arm, and I mean, like, it's barely moving. Like, this thing is solid. It's really great. Definitely want to get another one, just because they're so super handy. And they're strong, too. But anyway, so... yeah, can't remember where I was going with any of that. Other than, yeah, it'll take its toll on you if you really want to get serious into miniature painting. That's why it's good to get comfortable. Like how I am right now, if I could film the tutorials like this, I mean, I really haven't tried actually doing a tutorial like this. Maybe I should. I mean, I'm thinking to myself right now, why haven't I? I honestly can't say. Oh, you know what? Because normally in the videos, when I have the subject matter, I often have the palette. And so I show, you know, drawing the color off the palette, right, in the same shot. That saves me from having to show, you know, a separate camera for the palette, because a lot of people like to see the palette. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll try a tutorial like this, just filming it like this, painting. Holy craps, Mr. Popular today. So, yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Quiet. I don't have any music or anything. I usually paint with music. That's why I often don't get excited about doing like the live streams, because I can't listen to music while I'm doing this, and I'm kind of talking to you guys, which, you know, keeps me kind of busy. But I find I do more talking than I do painting, so, you know. Anyway, Chaos Engine. There's actually very little videos on YouTube about setting up a camera for miniature painting. There are setups, but no more in depth with the camera settings, so I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. I've done a few videos. They're in Mini Wargaming's vault on, you know, creating miniature painting tutorials. And in fact, I teased about this, I think, in a Way of the Brush episode recently, about if you have a smartphone, you're pretty much like 80% of the way there for creating a tutorial. And like, I have an iPhone 8, and it's got a really great camera on it. And so if you had something even more contemporary, I think that's only like 2 years old, I think. Yeah, they're on par for, you know, whatever, right? Really just storage space, but I mean, video files. And I mean, like, pretty much, like, with an iPhone, you can pretty much do everything from within just the phone. You can edit the video within the phone, because iMovie comes on iOS. I don't know for Android. I don't know if there's there's got to be a movie app for it, like a film, like editing video clips. But anyway, yeah, I've been meaning to show that, just because I know I get a lot of people asking about making, you know, videos and, you know, making tutorials. I'm not sure why everybody, you know, wants to, you know, create tutorials. I mean, personally, all I see are people doing Space Marines. You know what I mean? Everybody, even video tutorials, Space Marines. showing Imperial Fist, showing Blood Angels, showing Ultramarines, showing Black Templars, showing Salamanders, you know. Oh, White Scars. You know. It's always Space Marines. Everybody wants to do Space Marines. I don't know. And everybody does them the same. Some might show a different way of edging, I suppose. Some might, you know, but everybody's using the same damn shit. I mean, I don't understand why everybody's in a rush to, you know, to do the same shit. Mind you, though, I mean, the internet is like a goldfish. It's got a very short-term memory. So, you know, what might be, you know, the hot thing today, tomorrow will be forgotten, right? Just the nature of the internet, I guess. It's like a goldfish. It's just one big goldfish. Eldari Lamborghini. Oh, it's me. Try it. Though I like seeing the palette. Oh yeah, like do a tutorial like this. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Well, why haven't I done it? I have no good excuse why I have not done a tutorial this way. I've got all the equipment, right? I've got all the tools to do it this way, to be comfortable and paint, right? I'm not sure why I have not done this. Eldari, it helps with seeing the consistency of the paint you're using. Right. Okay. Yeah. So like that's one of the reasons why people like to see the palette, because they want to see how I'm thinning the color down and, you know, how I'm drawing it through. Right. Okay. I get it. And if I did it this way, I would have to have another camera for showing the palette, right? And I'd have to have like a little box somewhere, you know, showing, you know, the palette. I'd need another camera to film that, because obviously the background here, like if I was showing it from right here, you're not going to see crap. Holy man, just the popular guy today. You know, you're not going to really see it here, right? Anyway, Chaos Engine. I don't do tutorials. I will focus more on challenges and other things, to be honest. Plenty of better painters than me out there. LOL. Yeah. Johnny's Chop Shop. There he is. How's it going tonight, Monkey Lord? It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. I'm just working on some corpse grinders in between, you know, flapping my gums, which I think I'll get back to right now. Grabbing some Snakebite Leather that I've been shaking up for a while now. That is nice and warm, actually, because it's been sitting in my hands. And, yeah, we're going to start laying down Snakebite Leather. The way I did this on my other models is I just did this in a single coat, and that was it. So I just found a strap, grab a fairly generous amount in my brush, and then just start laying it on. And that is it. Like, that's all I did. Because reasons. Because contrast paints means you never have... Holy shit, what's going on? Contrast paints means never saying you're sorry. So you can see there. Look at that strap. See? Nice, fast, simple. Bang, boom, done. We winning awards? No. We getting this guy ready for the tabletop? Damn straight. Damn straight. I'm going to assume... Oh, it's probably metal, this little thing here. But anyway. So, and of course, I think one of the other things was that people were like, you can't be accurate with contrast paints. And that was a load of shit as well. Because, yes, you can. These flow just like normal paints. If you don't know how to use contrast paints, you don't know how to paint. It's pretty goddamn simple stuff. But there was all sorts of fucking belly aching from people. All sorts. These little straps here. See, here, watch this. These little straps here on the end of his axe. There's even some green here and some of the darker brown, but Screw it. I don't care. YOLO. YOLO. In fact, I'm going to hit some of the areas that weren't even part of that detail. Because again, YOLO. This is some YOLO painting for y'all. That's what we'll have to call this from now on. Just fucking YOLO painting. Just getting shit done. So anyway, seriously, look at that. Now look at those little straps. They got some shadows. They got some highlights. Boom, bing, bang, boom, done. Done. Right? Little straps on his biceps and his triceps. We're just going to hit those with some Snakebite Leather. I instantly fell in love with this color too, because of the name. Because it's an old school color name. In fact, I think it's one of the few colors I still actually have in my collection from way back in the day. Snakebite Leather. I think I still have my bottle of it somewhere in my little collection of relics. Ah, shit, I hit that bone. So I hit that little bone right there. And just really quickly, as long as you're fast, you just pull that color off. And no pitch, no foul. Now, getting in the biceps in this area is going to be kind of tricky. So, we're not going to grab too much paint. Yeah, we should be fine here. Let's get comfortable here. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to need more paint. More paint. More paint. Yeah, ideally, if you're doing painting tutorials, if you can have the camera like right in your eyes, like, or if it was like with your glasses or, you know, your eye frame or whatever, right? So that it could get that right perspective, that straight on kind of view, that would be perfect. So anyway, we're here. We got the straps on his bicep. Let's go for this other bicep over here. Let's get that one. And I do grab a pretty generous amount into my bristles because I do want it to pool into recesses. Because that way it gives me a bit of a black lining effect. So you can get some separation between details. So that's why I grab a somewhat generous amount. Just like so. And of course, if the color's not strong enough for you, you just simply come back and put another freaking layer on. Simple as that. Say, oh, it's not strong enough. Well, put another layer down. Bang. Now it's stronger. Bang. Boom. What was I going to do next? Oh, I was going to do the bone. Those little horns. We're going to use some Snakebite Leather, but I'm going to thin it down just a little bit. Comments. Chaos Engine. So good. Eldari Lamborghini. Gonna float a fun idea by you, Chris. I'm going to paint my fire dragons with Aethermatic Blue. Ooh. Going for that blue dragoon kind of look. So Aethermatic Blue on the bodies, I'm going to assume, or the entire thing, right? From head to toe. Are they going to be blue with, say, what, gold guns? That'd be kind of cool, actually. Or are you going to go with Aethermatic Blue for the bodies, but what for the helmets? What are the helmets going to be? Come on, man. Answer me. Come on. Twitch is really fast. You should be able to answer me right away. Damn you. Johnny Chop Shop. I'm trying to paint 5 o'clock shadow on the side of the head. The bust has a shaving head on the side like to yours. Help me, Monkey Lard. You're my only hope. Doing 5 o'clock shadow. I've done videos on it in a particular place. But in a nutshell, have I not done them on my channel? Okay, well, really quickly here, let's say, you know what? I'll do a fucking tutorial for you right now. So let's grab this guy here, okay? And let's say we're gonna do 5 o'clock shadow on his head, because 5 o'clock shadow can be on the face, can be on the head, right? One fast way I like to do 5 o'clock shadow is okay, well, you probably could just use. Well, I'll do it the way I normally do it. Then I will try something different. Let me grab my. Where the hell is it? Which one is that? No, not Mechanicus. Where the hell's the Space Wolf Gray? Oh, the Fang. There it is. Yeah, okay. So let's grab the Fang. Okay, now this is a fun one. We're going to take a little bit of the Fang and a little bit of Nuln Oil. We're going to take a little bit of the Fang, which is a Space Wolf Gray, which is kind of a blue-gray. Okay, the reason being we use a blue-gray is because, well, when you look at 5 o'clock shadow at a distance, right, it often throws a cast. Even if the person is brown-haired, black-haired, red-haired, the 5 o'clock shadow tends to take on a bit of a blue quality. Not so much with blonde-haired or white hairs, but that's a different story. The really quick way of getting this gist across is by this way. So what I like to do is take a little bit of the Fang and a little bit of Nuln Oil. The Nuln Oil is to deepen up the color just a little bit, just to throw some darker tone in, but also to thin it down, keep a bit of the integrity, but we're also going to use a bit of water. We could also use medium as well. I'll use water just for this instance. But here, let me grab a little bit of the Fang, put it on my palette. Now, it's not really any kind of mixture, that ratio I can think of. It's probably more like 1 dollop of paint, right, to probably like, man, it's probably more like 1 dollop of paint to 2 dollops of shade wash. But you're not going to do that because you're just going to wasting it, unless of course you're doing a whole bunch of dudes with 5 o'clock shadow. So really quickly here, I'm just going to grab a little bit here. I'm going to grab a nice generous amount of Nuln. Grab that. Probably not enough, but I'll play with that for the moment. Yeah, we'll just use this brush here. I'm going to grab a little bit of the water. Just really the dampness of the bristles. You can kind of see there how they're really swollen with water. And that's as much water as I'm going to use to thin the color out with. I'm going to take a little bit of the Fang and mix it into my Nuln Oil wash. It's too much. Need more Nuln Oil. I'm just going to use the same brush. I usually use 2 different brushes doing this kind of thing. But I'm going to grab a lot more. You can see I grabbed a whole bunch more there. And we're going to mix that in. We're not looking to go too far. I wish I can kind of show you guys right now, but I can probably show you right down the bristles. See how it looks like a darker blue-gray in the bristles? And so, because we thinned it out a little bit here, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it right on his jaw here. And we'll just start pushing the color. Now, if the flesh tone was lighter, this would show up a lot easier. And when you're glazing, you push the color towards where you want the color to build darker. So if you want to create a more impressive jawline, you'll push the color down towards the jawline. And so here, just really fast. You know what? Here, I'll do it on the head as well. I'll do it on his head as well. Here, let's make sure I'm in frame here. And then so let's go like this. Yeah. And yeah. Now here, I'm just looking to tint the areas of his head. I'm not looking to create any too much. I'm also going to push his hairline a little bit. Yeah, just give him a bit of a hairline. No, it's too much color, so move it around. And if you're fast, you can draw the excess out. Yeah, it's a little too much there on top of his head. We're just going to quickly move it on down to the back of the head. So something like that. You can see how that gives it. Now, if we had to push the highlights, so you want to do the 5 o'clock shadow after you have done the highlighting of flesh, so that when you're creating this artificial depth. But you can see there how it's given it. See how it looks a bit like 5 o'clock shadow. See how it's drawing now? And he looks like he's got a clean shaven head, but like a bit of the stubble's coming back. Right? That's 5 o'clock shadow really fast. I was going to show it with contrast paint because I think I've done it with the, what is it, Basilicum Gray? But yeah. So who asked about this? Johnny Chop Shop? Yeah, so hopefully that helps. So it's a bit of the fang, a little bit of Nuln Oil, a little bit of water. It's not much fang, not much Nuln Oil, but it's probably double the amount of the fang to Nuln Oil. So it's 2 Nuln Oil to 1 fang kind of thing, right? With probably equal water. Maybe less water. Just thinned it out to a glaze consistency. And then just push the color where you want it to build. So you can see I didn't allow too much to build up on his head, and I pushed it towards the back of his head. And you can see how it's a little bit darker in the back of his head. But if we'd have built up the highlights and such on his flesh, we would have a little bit more convincing look to the 5 o'clock shadow. But that, in a nutshell, is... well, that's not a nutshell. That's a fast tutorial for you all on doing a 5 o'clock shadow. So hopefully, Giant Chop Shop, that helps. Greenleaf Terrain. Can you send me a picture of your face, please? I want to print out some bedding. Shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pad, all with your face. No. Eldari Lamborghini. I was thinking to get some feedback from the monkeys about helmet ideas. Yeah, do it. Well, okay, yeah, okay. Here's what you can do, Zach. Prime the fire dragon. Lay down the Ethermatic blue on just the body. Do it clean and how you would if you're going to do them, right? Leave the gun uncolored. Leave the helmet uncolored. You said you're going to do fire dragons, right? Yeah, you're going to do fire dragons. So yeah, just do just the body, leave the gun, leave the helmet, and then post a picture. Post a picture in the Discord. And, say, hey, dudes, what should the gun be? What should the helmet be? Should the helmet go to Ethermatic blue or, Because definitely the gun should go something. I think the gun, I can see the gun being gold if you're going to go Ethermatic blue for the body, which would look really cool. You could also go, black for the gun. You could also go black for the helmet as well. Oh, geez, Louise. Dirty Vibes joined us on Discord. Jeez, nice name. Dirty Vibes. Anyway. Yeah, I would try that, Zach. And post in the work in progress or question and answers or something like that. Oh, Dirty Ibs. Ibs? It's ibis like the bird. See, I'm not that smart, so I don't know. Dirty Ibs? Oh, I thought it was vibes. I'm an idiot. Just don't listen to me. Greenleaf Terrain. Chris, that guy is totally a member of Dollar Shave Club. He wouldn't have a 5 o'clock shadow. Johnny Chop Shop, thank you so much. That really helped. I'll send an email for Saturday of the progress. Yes, please do. Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. Like, was that explanation enough? Or, because I can also, I'll most likely do another video for my channel, doing the 5 o'clock shadow, showing it for the face, head. Because I know I've been asked the question of doing a 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know if I've shown it for doing like a light-haired person or even salt and peppery. I don't know if I've ever shown that. But, yeah, anyway, yeah. It's on the list. It's on the list. It's on the list. Eldari, I was thinking black for the helmet with the teeth being gold. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I do the teeth gold. I think the entire helmet would be black, though. Black would look cool. The teeth being gold? Or you mean like the scales? The scales on the helmet? Which damn fire dragons do you have? Like the brand new ones? The newest or latest ones? I think just the helmet being black. Just a little bit of highlighting. Just a light gray. Or even, you know, blue gray. Would look cool. Especially if the armor was that light blue. Just a minimal edging. For the gold. Or for the gold. The gun. I keep thinking of the guns being gold. I mean, the guns could be black too. But, I mean, the bodies will be pretty light, right? The helmet would be cool. Like, see, for me, if I was going to go with Aethermatic Blue as the body, if it was the whole body, then yeah, definitely a striking color for the gun. Just 2 colors, right? Keep it straightforward. And then glowing eyes. Probably like red or orange. Orange yellow, you know, for the eyes. Just to go with the orange yellow of the gun, right? Like the gold. Go with the orangey gold. But if you were going to go with a different helmet color, which you totally can do, right? I think black. I think white. I also think of an orangey yellow. Or even, oh man, here we go. Here's some fun right here. How about this? What if, I don't know how comfortable, Zach, you are with blends, but what if you base coated yellow, the helmet, and then blended it to an orange out to the ends of the helmet? So it was kind of like an orangier mohawk. Not full on orange, but yeah. What if you did that? And then bright, well, I guess you can go back to blue, I guess, or magenta eyes. I don't know. Dirty Ibes? Is it Ibes? Am I saying that right? Ibes? Anyway. I changed the extra I for an E for graffiti reasons. Oh. For graffiti reasons. I don't. That's too hip and cool for me. I don't know. I used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. Eldari, blue-gray would work. Yeah, blue-gray. Hot dog, I'd love to try that. Yeah, the yellow to orange. Yeah, if you go Aethermatic Blue, it's... Okay, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of what I did. Where's... Ah, there it is. It's kind of like what I did here. Now, here, let me see. So, you can see here I have the yellow-orange, and it's Aethermatic Blue on the skin. But I used, for the metal bits... That is Curacao from Turbo Dork. Is their metallic? It's a metallic turquoise. I freaking love this metallic color. And then I used Leviathan Blue contrast just to shade some points. Create a bit of color depth on the weapon. You can kind of see where the contrast is because again, it doesn't dry with a shine. It dries with a matte. And so you can obviously see where the tint ends and the metallic shine stops. But yeah. So this is going to be this is the scheme I'm going to go with for my Deepkin. Yeah, you can see how it goes from I did a yellow and then I did the orange and then just thinned it out and then just created a little bit of a blend there. I just did it really fast. It wasn't like, it's not like, super, accurate blending there. It was just a quick little, thinned it out a little bit and hit it and then built it up to a pure orange at the ends just for some contrast. But if you did that on like the fire dragons, right, you did the bodies, Aethermatic Blue, and then you did that helmet with the yellow on the face, predominantly yellow, but building to up that orange at the mohawk. I think that'd be kind of cool. Excuse me. Sorry for everybody who's wearing headphones. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be my deepkin. Well, at least that's for the thralls. I've got my fishy dudes. These the eels. I haven't finished them yet. I still gotta assemble these. I'm not crazy about these flying stands they use nowadays. I'm not crazy about them. I'm not saying they're awful, but I'm not crazy about them. Eldari 2-brush wet blend, maybe green eyes. Green eyes, yeah. Like with the yellow, and if we went with the warpstone glow, that level of green, yeah. You could also go lime green, but that would just get lost in the yellow. And you want to have something striking. This is striking, by the way. I don't fucking know. Dirty Ibes. Ibes, like the bird, is how you say it. Right? I don't know what an ibis. Ibis? Ibis? I'm an idiot. Johnny Chop Shop, do you have graffiti in Canada? There is graffiti in Canada. It's often referred to as street art. But yeah, there is graffiti in Canada. Believe it or not, there is. There's actually quite a bit of it. Trains loaded with graffiti. Like not just passenger trains, but like trains that go across the country and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll have graffiti all over the place. Yeah. Eldari Lamborghini. I'm writing it down and pinning it to the board. Oh, for the dragons? Yeah. I think that would be really cool. For the dragon color scheme? Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no reason that any of the aspect warriors can be any other colors. There's no reason that they can't be. Sure, if you want to stay nice and fluffy, they can be, strict adherence, fire dragons being, red-orange bodies with yellow helmets, and dire avengers being blue with the white helmets, and, you totally do that and, make it look really kick-ass. Or you can go off the rails and, dire avengers be pink with, baby blue helmets with striking red hair. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? Like, you can just go wherever you want with them. No reason you can't. I don't know. Can you think of a reason? I can't think of a reason. They're your models. You paint them up however you want. What was I going to do next? Oh, right. I was going to use the Snakebite Leather. Or was I going to use our Garrus Dune? I think I was going to use Dune. Because I think that's what I did for the bone. I built it up to... I built it up to the Snakebite Leather, I think, as the darkest tone. But I used our Garrus Dune to build up on top of... the color. Skeleton Horde. That's it. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm going to use some more Garrus Dune to continue to shade the bone. Shade my bone. Now, this is called Getting Projects Done. I don't even know what episode I'm on. What episode am I on here? So I'm going to build the color towards the ends or towards the base? How have I been doing? Oh, I've been building the color outwards. Okay, so I'll build the color outwards then. So let's go Wucha and Wucha. There we go. We'll keep a fairly consistent vibe going on for how I'm doing things. Building the color towards the ends of horns. I can be consistent. Yeah, see? Getting darker towards the ends. Why? Why not? Right? Why? Why not? Let's start back here. Push that color forward. So you can see as I'm pushing, how I'm moving the color, right? I'm starting my brush stroke up higher and then pushing the color down where I want the color to build the darkest. And that applies anytime you're doing any glazing and you're using a glazing technique for your painting. Push the color where you want it to build the darkest. That's how you do it. With that being said, I think you all now know how to glaze your highlights. And I don't think we need to see any more questions on that. How do I glaze? Right? We don't need to. We've answered the question once and for all right there. It's how do you glaze? That's how you glaze. Anyway. Did I do that for the same thing on those horns? No, I built it up toward the back. I built it up the opposite direction. Why would I do that? I don't know. But I did it. That's the way it was done. So we're going to push the color towards the back of the horns on here. Why I did it that way? Couldn't tell you. Whatever mood I was in when I was doing this. And, you know, I often paint however mood I'm in. If I feel like doing something, I'll do it. And if I don't, guess what? I don't. Kind of obvious at this point, right? Like, obviously, man, you wouldn't do it if you didn't want to do it. What do you take us for? A bunch of dummies? That was a rhetorical question, by the way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I like the richness of the brown, the flesh. It makes the green all the more eye-catching. And you think, oh no, he's painting these light colors on these guys who are supposed to be evil. What are you doing? Well, I think you might have seen what I was doing recently with these guys. As I posted it earlier today, I posted a group shot of where the gang stands at the moment. And, yeah, I'm making them evil. Evil and bloody. Bloody. Johnny Chop Shop. I'm from Detroit. You're from Detroit? Okay, great. Good for you. I've breezed through Detroit once or twice. I don't think I've ever spent any time in Detroit, though. I've been in Flint a lot. Flint's a pretty tough town. I don't know if I've ever been through Detroit, though. Like, I've gone through Detroit quite a few times. But I've never, like, you know, checked the town out or anything. Even Windsor, for that matter. I really have not gone through Windsor. I think I stopped there once or twice. Going to add another layer to the horns. Building this color up. Getting it deep. Getting a nice deep brown. Nice and deep like. Yeah. So if I go quiet, it's because I'm ignoring you. No, it's because I'm thinking really hard. On the underside of the horn, I'm pushing that darker brown just a little further, just to create a little bit more shadowiness. Shadowiness? Is that the word I wanted? Anyway. Just an aesthetics choice. Just a visual choice. An artistic choice. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. That's not looking too bad at all, right? You guys can kind of see the vibe I'm going for there. I'm going to do the back of these horns a little bit more. Get a little more color built up. Yeah. I like this bone color for some reason. Are these contrast paints with these bone colors just too much fun? They're just so darn versatile. Because there's all sorts of stuff you can do. It's like Agrax Earthshade. Agrax Earthshade works on top of yellow, works on top of red, works on top of black, works on top of white, works on, you know what I mean? Like it's just a really great color that works on so many surfaces that, you know, what can't you do with Agrax Earthshade? And it's kind of like these brown colors. Like Snakebite Leather's fucking fantastic. Skeleton Horde, fucking fantastic. Wildwood, yeah, Wildwood, fucking fantastic. Do I got this set to adults only? I think I do. Mature audience only, because I'm dropping all sorts of bombs here. So, Anyway. Where am I? Eldari, I'll wave out my window at Johnny. Yeah. No, he's from Detroit though. I don't think he's currently in Detroit. Johnny, you're not currently in Detroit, right? But yeah, because Eldari, he's in Windsor. So I'll post some pictures of the street art from Windsor tomorrow in Discord. Yeah, post some street art. There's street art around here. It's not particularly exciting. What I would like to see though is the stuff in Ireland. Was it Dublin? Yeah, where it like, you know, the murals played a big part. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. That'd be cool. Johnny Chop Shop. Windsor looks so nice from our side of the river. At Eldari, road trip to the monkey lair. Sure, guys are more than welcome. I mean, like, I'm pretty much ready to start. I just got to get my terrain put together and stuff. Then because I have no terrain for a game table. I got to get it all together and ready. War Pig Mint. How do you make spider webs with the airbrush? Oh, that's easy. Head over to your local art supply place and find yourself some crackle medium. Do I have a bottle of it handy around? Of course not. Never do. I don't even know where my bottle of crackle medium went to. Anyway, bottle of crackle medium. You could just use craft store shit, whatever, doesn't matter. PSI, anywhere from 20 to 30 PSI you can spray at. Load, a little bit into your airbrush, and then just start spraying just past what you're working on. So if you're, if you have your airbrush, right? So let's pretend I loaded up the airbrush, just a little bit of crackle medium, and I'm spraying just over what I'm spraying. I'm not spraying it directly. I mean, you can run it kind of like across, but you always want to keep moving. And once you start seeing the webs come flying out, you know where you want to start placing it. So then you just start quickly laying it down. And then once you have the surface, like where you want cobwebs, you can come in really quickly with like a larger damp brush. And let's say, for example, like I didn't want any cobwebs here, but I wanted to leave cobwebs in between this surface. Well, really quickly, I could just take a damp brush and then just wipe this surface. And the cobwebs in between will stay, but this will remain. And in fact, it'll come back to its vibrant color of whatever you did before. Especially if you seal the model before you go through this cobwebbing. You can easily just pull the cobwebbing off that surface with a damp brush, and it will remain. I did the cobwebbing recently on, what the hell did I use it on? Oh, my spider demon. My spider demon from Creature Caster. I used spider webs on her. And in fact, I might go back and go ham on spider webs on it and just have spider webs all over it. I actually would like to revisit that model, because I did not push it as far as I wanted to go. And yeah, but I also have another model that, from Creature Caster. We'll have two more models from Creature Caster that I want to do up. I don't know if I'll get them ready for Adepticon, but because I would like to enter in the competition, but I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'm going to kill myself trying to get projects done, because I wouldn't mind trying to enter something into Golden Demon, Creature Caster, and I think somebody else is having a competition as well. I want to say somebody else is doing something. Who? I don't know, but I think somebody else is doing something. Anyway, can we see it? See what? See the spider demon? Sure. Hold on. Let me put my paint rag away. Get it off my lap. Oh, yeah, so I did the spider webbing it was only on this. I have it on another model, but I don't have that model on hand. I don't think. No, I do not. I do not have it on hand. I think it's in the box somewhere. So anyway, this spider demon. Whoa. So anyway, yeah. So I entered this in Crystal Brush 2 years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago I entered this model. And so if you go to Cool Mini or Not, you'll see the pictures, better pictures of this. So you can see I did the cobwebbing between the fingers. And I also had, you can see on her hand, I also had some here. And then I had it running to here. So how I did this, for example, is she okay? She's a little wobbly. Well, probably from the last move. But anyway, she should be fine. So to lay the, and I also had the cobwebs running like a big web between the fingers. You can see here, it's just like the strand here. And all this is just the cobwebbing. That's all it is crackle medium through an airbrush. That's all that is. And so to get it to bridge that, I sprayed at an angle like that. So I don't think she was in place at the time. So I was kind of just going ham, you know, laying cobwebbing down. But then I went through and then picked out areas, left larger strands of it sitting like that. And you see, obviously you can see this is a cast of my hand holding her. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, if you go to Cool Mini or Not, you'll see slightly better pictures. There's actual cobwebbing going on like her shoulder and stuff. That's because this model has sat on my shelf for a while. I did not add cobwebbing. Wait, can we see it in the shot there? See it on her shoulder, just right where that little spike connects up to her neck. See this little cobwebbing? Yeah, that's not from me. That's from actual spiders. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, if you go to Cool Mini or Not, yeah, you'll see pictures of this there. Crystal Brush. Wasn't last year. The year before, I think, right? Because I don't think I entered anything last year. No, I didn't enter anything last year. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just putting her back. Putting her back. Putting her in her place. There we go. All right. What time are we at here? Holy schmolies. It's 11 o'clock. Get a little bit more paint done. More pigment. Keep it. Keep it? The model? I'm going to keep it. Or keep the cobweb. Is that what you mean? Keep the cobweb? Greenleaf terrain. At Chris, in my eyes, you are a golden demon. Huh? Chaos Engine. Hey, Chris, was wondering, in your professional opinion, what was the worst miniature paint you have worked with? The worst miniature paint? Nothing. I've worked with Citadel Air, Vallejo Air, Vallejo Game Color, Model Color, Scale 75, Golden, Liquitex Inks, Pro Acryl, Minotaur, both the Ghost Tints and the regular Minotaur colors, MIG Ammo, Reaper, what was it? High Density? What the hell is the Master Series? Reaper Master Series. Reaper is pretty good. Army Painter. I've worked with Army Painter. The worst? Oh, they all have their positives and negatives. They all have... Oh, I've worked even with War Colors. I played with some of the War Color colors. Mission models. I like mission model paints. Testers. Use testers. Tamiya. Use Tamiya. I'm just looking at my collection here. I got a bunch. Spastics. I've used Spastics. HK or AK. Turbo Dork. Use Turbo Dork. Yeah. Most of the time, I just use Citadel because it's readily available, and it's the colors. I've actually not used Humbrol. Humbrol paint is the worst. I There's a guy who's relatively local. He did commission for Matt. He did his Tyrannid flying creature, and he did it in Humbrals, and he did wet blending with the Humbrals. The enamels we're talking here. I think Umbral only does enamels. I was thoroughly impressed. He was a master in his medium, and that's the thing. And I've talked about this many, many times on Way of the Brush. It is not the paint that's going to make you a great artist. It is not the brush that is going to make you a great artist. It is the time you take to develop your skill using any particular paint or brush that's going to make you a really great artist. That's what's going to make the difference. You know, putting the time in and effort. Humbrol, yeah, Humbrol being the worst. No. Oh, and P3, yeah, I've used P3 Army Painter. Yep, I've used that. But it says weight of the brush. Yeah. Yeah. P3 paints. I like P3 paint. Well, and Code d'Arms. Code d'Arms being the classic Games Workshop paint, apparently. So using that stuff way back. Oh, not Privateer Press. Ralpartha paints. Way back in the day. And those Ralpartha paints were actually more like dollar store craft paints. Now, I've never used dollar store craft paints to paint my miniatures, but I know of other people who do use dollar store craft paints to paint their miniatures, and they paint them well, and they look good. So again, it's not the material, it's the effort that the artist puts behind their work. It's how much time you're willing to put in to learn and master your materials, to create the effect and see your vision forward. That's the difference. And that's true of any painter. Doesn't matter. Every artist out there, any of the masters you see out there, they'll all have a wide experience with, other materials, but they'll have a very select few things that they really enjoy because it's what they're used to. It's what they prefer. Doesn't mean that particular paint or brush or whatever is superior. Mind you, like, for example, a lot of people really, talk about Vallejo paints being really, really fantastic. And they are fantastic paints. The reason why so many people like Vallejo is because they're already a thin-bodied paint. And when you break it down to a glaze, it goes on really nicely. And Vallejo has a really nice glazing medium, which works really nicely for miniatures doing glazing technique. It goes on nice and smooth and has a really nice smooth finish. It's a really nice paint. But if you don't know how to glaze or you're not that experienced at glazing, you're not going to appreciate how fine that is. And these are just things that you're going to find as you develop as a painter. So it all comes in time. Just patience and work. Patience and work. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Eldari Lamborghini. Ceramite white, absolute and utter garbage. I like ceramite white. It's the only color that covers on top of dark colors really well in like one or two thin coats. Now, can it stop chunking up on me? Well, that would be great. But that is the nature of how they put that pigment together. Because like white scar, ceramite white and white scar are not the same. They're different. They're made of the same material, just different ratios. Ceramite white is a richer pigment. And yeah, any of the colors in Citadel's line, how they do it, all the light colors, the grays, anything with like a lot of white in it, tend to get kind of chunky. I don't know why that is. Something about that. Why it gets chunky. I mean, it's got to be the same reason why they go for a heavier bodied paint, right? So it's got to be something to do with that. But, all paints separate. All paints separate. All pigments separate from their mediums. They all do. Oil paints, acrylic paints, not watercolor, because watercolor is typically in a solid brick anyway, but Chaos Engine. I think the only thing with Army Painter paints for me is the separation is a little crazy. Still workable, just a little annoying. All paints are going to do that. All paints separate. All. They all do. Everything is subject to gravity. It's unavoidable. Johnny's Chop Shop. I just can't stand the way it separates in the tin can. Oh, the Humbrals? Yeah, but I mean, again, if you had one of them little automatic mixers for it, you wouldn't complain too often. But again, all paints are going to separate. All. And some separate faster than others. For example, like metallics. Metallics will separate, pretty fast. Shit, you'll see them separate before your eyes sometimes. And some don't. It all depends on what they're made with and what kind of body they are. I find with my golden paint line, when I'm talking about gold, I'm talking about this paint line right here. I find that these don't separate here, let me go. Yeah, let's put it up on the screen here. I love these colors. This is their high flow line. This stuff it flows almost like an ink. It's thicker than ink, but it flows almost like ink. And I use this through the airbrush a lot. I even do regular brush work with it. And you can see it's got a bit of translucency to it. It's not transparent, but it's translucent. And these paints, fabulous. And you pay about $10 for what is this? A 30 ml bottle, 1 fluid ounce. I pay about $10 for one of these, but they're good paints. I like them, good quality. I like these screw top caps to dropper style bottles. Just one-handed. You can undo it, pour your paint in, screw it back on, and away you go. You can do it all one-handed. I like that, especially when you got the paint flowing through you, and you're just going. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Anywho, yeah, we're hitting the 2-hour mark right now, so I think I'm going to end this show. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. It was fun. I don't know, got a little bit of work done. Not much. It's usually the way these things go. I end up talking to you guys for like forever, and Chaos Engine. Yeah, all paints do that for me, but Army Painter requires that bit extra. Yeah, they all do. If you've played with like all the paints, you'll find some separate faster than others. Honestly, Citadel regular opaque colors are the best at not separating. It takes a very long time for them to separate because it's a heavier body paint. But I think that's why they go for that heavy body paint, is so that it can sit on the shelf, because they know, again, it's that infrastructure. They have that infrastructure to move these paints all over the world and make them available for everybody. And that's why you pay a premium price on it, because they're available everywhere, right? Vallejo, man, for the longest time here in Canada, I had the hardest time getting Vallejo paints. It took a long time to get Vallejo. Then all of a sudden it seemed like Vallejo was everywhere, and so, which is good because I like Vallejo paints too. Chaos Engine, my fave paints are P3. Yeah, now as far as I understand, P3 is like the old GW paints, which were a very nice silky kind of paint. And yeah, P3 paints are really nice. I played a lot with the reds and stuff like that. I like them. Vallejo and Citadel so far. I have Minotaur paints to try out. Also have their tints to try out. Yeah, the Minotaur paints, the regular paints, really good. Good value for what you get. And the paints are great. They go through the airbrush great. You can hand paint them on just great. The ghost tints, you can play with them by regular brush or you can airbrush them. The ghost tints are fantastic. The only thing is, in my experience with the ghost tints, is that you have to seal after laying your ghost tint down, seal it, and then continue on with your work. Otherwise, it can reactivate on you. In my experience, I don't know if it still does. Maybe they changed the formulation. I have no idea, but yeah, in my experience, it's always been like that. Chaos Engine, thanks for all the advice, mate. It helped out a lot. Well, good. I'm glad. And, I really wasn't intending on making this thing kind of a, educational type thing. I was just going to be me sitting here painting shit and talking to you guys and talking shit and a lot of shit talking, basically. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're watching this after the fact, you know, maybe you'll catch me live. I don't know. These are going to be kind of infrequent, so, you know, I usually put out a Twitter message saying I'm going to go live. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get that notification. If you're on Twitch as well, you'll get the notification. Of course, I probably might post this to YouTube. Probably not for a few days, but, you know, again. So thank you for everybody tuning in, everybody who's following, subscribing, all that. And if you want to help the channel out, consider helping by Patreon. We got a Patreon link somewhere. Actually, I don't even know where it is. Oh, I don't even know what episode this is. What episode is this? Getting stuff done. How many of these have done? Is this like episode 2 or 3? Is this 2? 3? Somebody help a brother out. Hold on, I gotta see where the fuck I am in this crazy machine. Jane, get me out of this crazy machine. Jetsons, anybody? I'm sure you knew. What was I? Have I only done one of these videos? I thought I've done more than this. Fuck off. What was this? Oh, I just called it getting... Okay, I'll call this episode 2 then. Because I've only done one of these? Have I only done one of these? Really? I thought I did more of these. I thought I did a few of these. No? No. Guess not. Okay, well, I guess we're calling this episode 2 then. So we'll call this episode 2... Painting Corpse Grinder Cultists. Oh, episode no, not 2. There we go. Episode 2, Painting Corpse Grinder Cultist. There we go. And no, we'll say that. We'll leave it at that. So that's what the episode's called. It's called episode 2, Painting Corpse Grinder Cultists. And so, yeah. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, stopping by, saying hi, all that jazz. I got nothing else to say. And, I think we're fine here. Chaos Engine. Going to watch Citadel Color Contrast Technical versus Lamian Medium. Just a tip. Video of yours now. Yeah. I've got a bunch of videos on contrast back when it came out, which was June, I believe. So you might have to go back a little bit. And I don't know if you follow Mini Wargaming, but back then I also did some other stuff for Mini Wargaming at the time as well. As far as contrast was concerned, I did like the big Carnosaur. I think it's called a Carnosaur for the Lizardmen. It's the big T-Rex looking creature, right? Anyway, or it's more of an Allosaurus, but anyway, I did that, and I painted that model in like 40 minutes using contrast. So, for anybody who needs to get their models done, my God, why not, right? Chaos Engine, thanks again, mate. Have a fantastic night or day. It's night for me. It's almost 11:20 p.m. for me on a Thursday night. Johnny Chop Chop. Email instructions, please. Email instructions, please. Email instructions. Oh, my email? Chris at Way of the Brush. Actually, it's not in the description. I always say it's in the description, but on Twitch here, it's not in the description, is it? Because the video doesn't really have a description area, does it? Just, no. Because it's just the title and then just the tags, right? So... what? Because I don't have like the whole link for doing things, the things about the things. Email instructions though. Email instructions, what do you mean? Like where to send them? Anyway, just go to waythebrush.com. You'll see the Patreon links. You see all the social media stuff. You'll see it all. It's all Way the Brush. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll save this for a Patreon update. Yeah, I'm gonna film a Patreon update as well. So everybody who's on Patreon, I should get another video. Just a quick little update, kind of how things are going. Yeah, where things are. Giant Shop. Send pics as attachments. Yeah, send them as attachments in the email. Yeah, if you're going to send pics, Chris at KRIS at Way of the Brush. Yeah, and if you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments. Don't send it off as links to, you know, Flickr or Photobucket or... do those even exist anymore? I don't even know. But either way, just send as attachments. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't have any snazzy outro music, so it's just going to be me just kind of fading off into the distance. Like that. Just a fade. Just a fade.